Hello and welcome to the latest YouTube video, and it's your boy Ayo Richie, or Ayo Richie, whichever you prefer, it's fine. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about some Leo stuff. It's not specifically a Leo guide, but it's something I wanted to do to help out some Leo players, and to help you, develop some creativity in your gameplay. As an upcoming Leo player, someone that wants to go on and do big things with Leo, So I wanted to do this video just to help people out. So I just wanted to talk about a few moves, and I just wanted to talk about how you can set up opportunities for whiff punishment and how to just always stay on top of the situation. So as you might know, Leo's downfall 2 doesn't launch crouches, and a lot of the time you can do this and you can make the mistake of pressing afterwards even though you're -2. But in a situation like this, if your opponent's aware that they didn't get launched and they know the frames, they might just press themselves and they're at +2. So whatever they press will come out faster than you if they go for a quick move like a jab, generic down 4, stuff like that. So what you can do in that situation is obviously use movement to get around this kind of stuff. And a move that I like to use for these kind of niche situations is sidestep 1+2. And the reason I like to use this move is because it's got a great pushback, it's safe, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if you're playing safe and not taking much risk and winning, it says a lot about how you are playing the game. Like, if you're not forcing mix-ups on your opponent and you're just outplaying them in neutral, and you're landing all of these nice mids that Leo has, hit confirmable wall splat, stuff like that, and optimizing your combos and situations like that. Like, if you can hit confirm this move, that's just like, that's a great portion of the character in itself, because this is not an easy hit confirm. It's also not hard. It's like right in the middle, I feel. But if you can get this consistently, then what you can do with the character automatically becomes 10 times dangerous, because you can literally just sit there just doing this all day, doing this into itself. Your opponent's gonna panic and maybe throw out some unsafe move, and let's say for instance they do a hop kick or something. Because you're aware that they're gonna panic and throw out a move like that, this is how dangerous your punish can be. Let me put the wall so you can get a nice example. So if opponent hop kicks, you can get up forward 1-2 into key charge into 65 damage. 65 damage for the opponent panicking and doing a hop kick just because you pressured them, with a safe mid. Safe mid hit confirmable wall splat. Like, it shows just how crazy a move like this can be. And obviously if you do, there's times you can just throw it out as well, because sometimes people get fed up of just just blocking and blocking and blocking, so they might just press. And if they do press, then this will happen. Wall splat into, a lot of damage. If you play Leo, you know what you can do from this situation. You can do sidestep forward 4 into crouch jab 2 while standing 1-4-1, and you're getting quite a lot of damage for that. So it's best to obviously respect this move where you can. It's only -12, so it's not it's not that big a deal to just throw out. So yeah, and there's not really anything you can do to get in between it as well. Like, obviously it's a bit linear, so you can sidestep it, but at the wall, that's a very risky thing to do because you don't want to get clipped. And then also you got the second move tracking a little bit as well, so that helps as well. So yeah, that's a really great move to use, more so than back 4 1+2. Like, back 4 1+2 is good. it's a great move and stuff, but I think if you're using this more, then you know you're really keeping yourself in a safe situation, and you're basically maximizing your opportunity of, you know, let's say for instance you have a life lead, and you know you're pressuring your opponent, you're minimalizing the comeback potential of your opponent basically, because if you do this in cancel and your opponent knows the situation and launches you, you're in a bad situation. And obviously it's only hit confirmable, you know, when you do the cancel. Like, it's not going to be a thing where you just do back 4 and then 1+2. Like, you physically cannot do that. So it's more of a twitch thing than it is a hit confirm. I'm not going to say it's a clean hit confirm to do, because it is quite hard. But yeah, it is a bit of a weird one. But this one here is 100% a hit confirm. So this is the one you want to go for more so than back 4 1+2. Back 4 1+2 is good, but if your opponent knows the situation, then you know it's a dangerous game from there on. And against some other characters, you know, the risk reward can be more in your favor. But against characters with mids that launch at -15, like Law, you know, like Leo with hop kick, Claudio, there's a lot of characters that have that, you know, -15 launcher that's mid. So yeah, cancelling this is, you know, a risky move. But yeah, so other than that, you know, you got your down forward 1, you know, your generic down forward 1. This move is an insane pressure tool for the fact that it has a follow-up, and people will know that, you know, to beat or to option select this string, you know, you would use what, generic lows and stuff like that. So what you can do as a defensive measure as Leo, you can do down forward 1, quick low parry into block again when you have them at the wall. So if they do panic and do a low, you know, you'll get your low parry, you'll get your wall combo, and then, you know, the situation resets. And that's when, you know, they tech roll, and then they have to take the 50-50, and then it's up to you if you decide to do a hell sweep, or if you decide to do, you know, down back 1+2. And I'll show you what this looks like. So okay, not that. Down forward 1 for quick fuzzy. I don't know why I did it myself. Okay, that wasn't quick enough. So down forward 1, fuzzy, block. As you can see, low parried, and then, you know, if they do a combo afterwards, then it's a dangerous situation. I'm going to do the whole string now. As you can see, generic down 4 beats the string, and obviously duck launch if you throw out the string anyway. So this is a read that the opponent can have. So if you're just doing down forward 1 into low fuzzy guards like that, you know, you're doing something that's pretty safe, and you're not getting launched. You're not, nothing like that's happening. Like, it's just pressure. It's a great way of pressuring your opponent safely and keeping him at the wall as well. Because your opponent isn't going to try and move and stuff like that. He's literally just going to stand there and just wait until his opportunity to attack. So that's down forward 1. Down 4, another move. The animation isn't really too distinct, so I do feel like if you keep going for it, eventually your opponent will kind of clock on. It won't be that they react, but it will be like they kind of expect it in a sense. So yeah, it becomes a bit I don't really know what the word is, but you can, a bit telegraphed in a sense, a bit telegraphed. So obviously it has the extension, which you do have to respect. You know, if you try and punish the down forward but while standing 4, you will get hit. And I believe on counter hit, yeah, you counter hit, you do get wall splat. So, you know, it's very much a risky situation. Like, if you do get counter hit, you know, you're going to be eating. Okay, that was that mistake. You're going to be eating, yeah, 63 damage. So, yeah, not what you want to be doing at the wall. You know, the Oki isn't the best after that ender, but, you know, it's damage at the end of the day. It's damage. So, yeah, down forward 1, down 4. These moves are quite abusable. You know, opponents can have their quick counter hit launches and stuff. So I guess if you do down forward, you don't really want to do down forward one into down forward. Like that's not really advised. You know, you do have your jab pressure and stuff at the wall as well, which you can do here and there. But some opponents will, you know, duck launch if you do like 2 jabs in a row and stuff like that. Even if you do 2 jabs on, like a jab on hit into another jab, you know, your opponent might duck and do like a while standing move, or you get what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, every opponent has, you know, their panic options and what they tend to go for. But you can really get like a reading on your opponent when you do stuff like down forward one, quick fuzzy and stuff like that. You can see if they're twitch ducking, you can see if they're, you know, just guessing, you know, because if they do manage to get hit by the second hit, you know, you get your while standing free, and then after that while standing free, you know, it's Oki City again. Like Leo does have pretty good Oki. Now, as you can see, they can't really do a get out kick there, or, you know, if they do tech roll, it's a mix up. Like if they back roll, it's a mix up. Like it's a great situation for Leo. Like when Leo has you at the wall, it's it's dangerous. Leo having the hit confirmable down that 1+2 string. Leo having a hell sweep that wall splats like this. You know, obviously if it's a clean angle, you know. Yeah, like there's some really interesting things you can do. Because like if you're pressuring someone with down forward one, you can do like a single backdash, see what they like to go for. And then you can even do like a keep out hell sweep and stuff like that. I mean, these are things that you'd want to just try out in like a short set, just to like kind of throw off your opponent, I guess. Because a lot of the times when I'm playing in like even if it is a tournament, like fair enough, people want to go in with a strict game plan, but at the same time, you do want to get creative and, you know, do some random stuff here and there, just to see how your opponent deals with it, basically. Because if you can play away from your game plan and still get wins and still take rounds, when you do come back to playing your style and how you want to play, you'll be more comfortable because you have the rounds, and, you know, you haven't even tapped into how you want to win the game. So there is some fun things you can do in that aspect, and that's why, you know, Leo's back Kempo stance is so great, because, you know, if your opponent's pressuring and let's say you just hold back the whole time and you take these 50-50s, that one time you don't take the 50-50 and you do this, you know, you could get your launch punished, and that could be the difference between you winning and losing. So yeah, Leo has a lot of tools and you can utilize them in a lot of ways. Like I can do weird stuff like this, you know, back 3+4, 1 down, going into box stance, and you never know, like I could just go under a mid, like my opponent could go for a high. Like, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's kind of similar to how Jin has, you know, the back 3 into Zen and he goes under stuff. You know, that blowing up, you know, moves that, you know, have high follow-ups and stuff like that, like power crushes that are highs, you know, they really get destroyed by stuff like that. And obviously Leo has that as well, with back 3+4, 1 down into box stance. But yeah, that's probably a bit too much depth, I'd say, for like a tournament setting. Like, when are you really going to get the read on a power crush for stuff like that? Like, you'd have to really know the situation and have a very solid read. But yeah, something you should always utilize in short sets as well with Leo, I think, which is very strong, is ending your wall combo with key charge and then seeing how your opponent wakes up and being key charged with this in your arsenal with, you know, forward 3. And I say forward 3 because, okay, let's see how you can deal with this move. And this is a move that I've very recently found out about, like, in terms of just using and throwing it out, because, you know, I don't mind really getting floated. If I get floated, it's cool. I'm going to lose about 45 damage roughly. Like, it's not really a big deal unless, you know, I go to the wall. If I go to the wall, I might lose a bit more. But yeah, let's say about 50 something damage here. Okay, now let's say I'm key charged here. Let me turn on counter hit. Okay, so let's say I'm key charged now. So forward 3. Down jab whisk, right? let's turn on frames. Let's see how minus this is. Right, so let me just return to default. Right, so forward, forward 3. -7, you know. Down jabbing here is definitely not a good idea, because I'll show you some of the stuff that can come out of this. So you got obviously down into box stance, and this is the biggest launcher, and I'm pretty sure down jab gets beaten. Yep, so if you down jab, you are dead. Now, the main go-to thing is obviously to while standing 4 here, because, you know, you just block everything. And this is like a general thing with like every other character. But then let's say, for instance, now I'm key charged, forward, forward 3, and then I parry or something. Now let's see if this works. Okay, so I don't have the frames to parry there, but, you know, I can do another parry, so let's just do that. Key charge. Forgot the other parry, but it's fine. Alright, so the other parry now. So key charged, the other parry. Okay, boom. I'm still key charged. And now you're in a situation where you're face down and you're at the wall. So little situations like this, and now Leo's key charged. Leo has... These are the moves that Leo has, you know, to utilize when key charged. QCF1, this all guaranteed. Leo also has this full string. When you're far from the wall, you know, it covers a lot of distance. You're most likely going to the wall and going to get wall splattered. So Leo has that as well. Leo has back 3-1. Which is obviously the mini combo ender at the wall. So let's say, for instance, now the Leo just does back 3-1 and is key charged, and let's say you block it. Right, so key charge, back 3-1. Okay, that wasn't meant to happen, but okay. Key charge, back 3-1, parry. Okay. So now let's see what happens when you challenge this. Let's go to the wall, just so you get a really good picture of what happens. All right, so here we are. Wall splat into, let's say, about 80 damage. You know, we're going to the other wall and we're going to do forward 3 block 2. So yeah.